You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Oilersnation Radio. I thought it was going to be a celebratory episode today, if I'm being honest.
So did all of us, according to our predictions.
Except Waz.
Well,
stupid Waz.
That was a bit weird.
That was a bit weird.
2 days after game one, though, there would be no more celebrating. We'd be focused on game two. And we're focused on game two either way, so it doesn't matter what game one was.
As we do every week, we're going to kick off the podcast with a delicious debate for our friends at Oodle Noodle. Tyler is chewing, so I'll stretch out the plug a little bit. They've got 16 locations and counting. If you are in Edmonton, head on in to any of the locations.
Slow it down. He's almost done.
To be fair to Tyler, this was a surprise.
Oilers Nation sticker. Are you done?
I'm good.
All right.
I finished my ham and cheese roll.
I had one today, too.
They're very good.
Hop on in to the Edmonton locations. Grab yourself a free Oilers Nation sticker. Decorate your life. That's what I'm saying. Tyler, what's the delicious debate today?
The delicious debate today is, what was the most concerning part of the Oilers' 8-1 loss?
I'll jump in. Lack of execution just in general. They looked like a team that had never played before. And it's just one game. I get it. But like, that was the most annoying thing to me. Like, you guys, the core especially, they've been around for a while now. This isn't new for any of these guys. And they were a half step too fast, a half step too late, or just directly passing to the Vancouver Canucks. It was just the lack of execution was the most surprising and the most disheartening thing for me.
For me, there was no pushback whatsoever. Every time Vancouver scored, I told myself, we're the better team. We're going to be back in this. And then Vancouver would just keep coming. And it just never stopped. So yeah, for me, this team last year always felt like they weren't out of any game that they were in. And didn't feel like that on game one.
Yeah, I think for me, remember in the playoffs, how many bad first periods we had to sit through? This team just could not come out of the gates well at all. And this year they show up to captain skate earlier than any team in NHL history has ever shown up for a captain skate.
They're ready to go.
And Connor demanded everyone be in town for it. Was not optional. And then they come out of the gates like that. And it's like, all we've been preaching and hearing over the last month is how prepared they are, how different it is, how much more focused they are on the goal. And then for them to come out and be terrible in the first game, it's like, are you different? Was that all just lip service? Is it going to be same old kind of thing?
Rick, what do you think?
Well, I was going to just say everything, but we'll try and specify a little bit. And I just feel like we haven't learned from our mistakes from before. We haven't learned from the pain of losing out of the playoffs the last couple of years where, there was this mistake or that mistake and we weren't going to do that anymore. We haven't learned from anything we've done previous is what it felt like. And so we're going to hope things are different tomorrow, but just making the same mistakes we've made the last couple of years that's prevented us from being that successful team was kind of what got me.
Liam?
For me, it was just the work ethic. I thought it was kind of crazy that the others so many times were beaten in so many battles. It was like they didn't want to. It's like they expected the game just to go their way from minute one till the end.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And even stuff like not being in the right positions for a pass. Like there was one between Nurse and Bouchard stood out to me where Nurse tried to wrap it around to his partner and Bouchard just stood there as if it'll get to me somehow. And it was just bad. It was just really, really bad. And it was quite embarrassing to watch on some parts, to be honest.
Yeah. But even on that goal, Nurse makes a pass to Bouchard. Bouchard stands there, but then Nurse just kind of floats and is like, And then also the puck eventually works its way to the high slot. Connor McDavid's 5 steps away from back checking the guy. And then Jack Campbell gets the corner picked on him. And it's like,
is that the Besser goal?
Which one?
Oh, good point. He would have been over on the sort of his left side. It would have been up over the glove of Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think he was a little bit too far away for Darnell to be in his pocket. He was kind of in that no man's land, but that technically would be where your first forward should be.
And they didn't have a first forward.
That's very true.
It was just, the point is there were a lot of issues. I think there is one Oiler who could sit in the locker room at the end of the game and in his own head at least be like, not bad. It's probably Dylan Holloway. Was there anyone else that you guys watched that you were like, they were good?
I felt like Jack Campbell didn't do anything wrong per se. It just felt like a lot of those goals were just the Canucks are in an opportune spot and taking a great shot.
Yeah, there was the one on the surface it looked lucky where Besser batted it in, but Campbell faces a shot from far out and punches the rebound 6 feet in front of him. And it's like the Besser chance doesn't happen if Jack Campbell kicks that into the corner, covers it up and controls it. Right. So I didn't hate Jack Campbell's game. I'm not sitting here being like, oh my God, why'd we get so hyped up about Jack being back? But I also didn't love his game to the point where I'm like, I feel confident heading into the next one.
I think if you were going to pick a line that was the best, it was the third line. And that's obviously a problem.
Only
They
line
just
that stayed together all game.
They just were more noticeable in it than anybody else. I
A
think.
less than dog shit way.
Yeah, like they were going forward more. Like, yeah, I don't know exactly.
Like
how
I
to
know
explain
plus
it, but
minus ain't the stat anymore, but when you look at the box score and you see all the dashes beside everybody, go, whew, ugly.
You're stronger than me, but if you went in there and looked at the box scores afterwards,
I had to know, like, well,
I don't want to know.
I had to know, like, did Nuge really play 21 minutes? Because he looked invisible.
Philip
what I mean?
Broberg played almost 17 minutes. I couldn't believe it.
Evander Kane was credited with 5 hits. I didn't see a single one of them.
Yeah, so like I'm looking in some of those numbers in the box score and I was just like, woof, all over the place.
Yeah.
Guys you needed to perform did not perform. Guys that you expect to be steady were not steady. Neither goalie had a banner night. The team as a whole was dog shit. So it's one of those ones where all you can really do is flush it and move on.
Is there anything to be said about the defensive structure or whatever? Like they're playing a new system and maybe it takes a game or blah, blah, blah.
On Oilers Nation every day, Tyler was just like, maybe they just didn't take the preseason seriously enough to work on this new system.
I think the reality is, and it's just like it's human nature, is when you're learning something new and you've been taught something, even if you know it, your default is to go back to your habits, to your old way of doing things. And I think that you see the Canucks go up 2 goals early, and as a player, as a human being, it's just natural to go back to what you knew instead of what you've been taught. And even Quads pointed it out that the team looked like they didn't know what they were doing when it comes to a zone defense. We talked about it with McDavid even not coming down low enough. The forward wasn't coming down and helping out enough to even have a zone defense be effective. So it was just a confusing game.
It looked like we were trying to learn the swarm again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also, I don't even like that, like their defensive zone style and approach is like even a story, because it just feels like it's ripe for something where a month into the year, it's a headline again.
To your point, I would also say, listen, the Oilers were bad in the defensive zone. Find me a zone they were any good in.
Good point.
So you can blame the defensive zone coverage and that it's new and that they're not used to playing zone, but okay, then what was the excuse at the other end of the rink? Because they were just as bad down there.
I have a couple other things that I'm interested, takes I want to get the group's opinion on. If we want to talk about something from a coaching perspective, I really do not like the down by 3 goals on the season opener. Connor and Leon are playing together.
Why?
Do you think having Connor and Leon together gives you the best chance to outscore the opposition?
Yes.
So then why aren't they playing together all game?
Because you don't have to, like, it comes down to the same thing with Crosby and Malcolm when you put them together in the playoffs and then split them over the regular season. You want to, and I feel like I'm trying to explain this to you, but obviously you want to spread out everything throughout the lineup, but when you know things aren't working and now you're getting desperate, condense it into one, and we've seen what that line can do, and hopefully it'll give you the shock and wake up everybody else. Because this team, and it's always been this way, regardless of who's wearing the damn jerseys, as long as I can remember, and it makes no damn sense. They can be absolute dog shit, or they can just struggle offensively till they get a goal. And once they get that first goal, it's kind of like they get the handcuffs taken off them and they score one and bang, now they're going.
Here's why
it's frustrating as shit. It doesn't make any sense, but it's a thing.
Here's why I don't like it. Sure, playoffs, you're down by 3 in a game, put them together, because you know what? Winning this game is incredibly important. Season could be on the line. Down by a goal in the final 5 minutes of a game. Couple shifts, Connor and Leon together, hit the opposition with it, do it. In this case, I just think you're fighting against yourself, where it's, if you think over the course of 40 minutes of a hockey game, your best chance to outscore the opposition by 3 goals is to play Connor and Leon together, then you should just be doing it all the time. Like, in my opinion, either do it or don't. But I'm sick of this. No, because you want to get other pieces in the lineup going. That's the whole reason you have them apart.
If they're not going, would you not just, okay, fine, the Bills can't make any passes. Okay, just throw it to Diggs. Diggs is going to find a fucking way to catch the ball and score a touchdown. That happens.
Yeah, but
right, and that's kind of, I think that's the type of mentality they're going with here.
That's not really an apples to apples comparison. All this, like, you want Connor Brown, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Zach Hyman, and Evander Kane going. Connor and Leon should be able to get those guys going in a game. I think you can do it with them separate. I just feel like it's such a crutch for Jay Woodcroft to, as soon as the Oilers go down, play them together for the final 40 minutes. I don't like it. I would like to see those lines build up a little bit of chemistry throughout the year. Like, it's game 1. I didn't like the panic move of, we're playing Connor and Leon together. I felt like those final 40 minutes, you're likely not winning them no matter what. build up some chemistry between these guys.
And I don't find it as a panic move. It's an option you have. It's like you can put them all together.
It's Woody's best pitch, and he knows it's his best pitch, and he is not going to hesitate to use it if he has to.
And where I'm going with Tyler, at least that I'm on his team on this one, is that he goes to that well too often.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, is that I'm okay with that well being there.
Why do you say it goes to the well too much?
He's done 100% of the games this year, Rick. He's gone to them.
There's been one game, so you can't say 100%. But why is it going too many times? What is it oversaturating?
The literally the two of them being together and being able to be creative and have that fun in that game. Because what happened against?
What do you mean? But they're very good at that.
What happened in the Vancouver game? Absolutely nothing. So that well.
But nothing happened before, though.
I know, but that well loses a little bit of its mystique now, and it's not. You can't go back to that every single time, or else it's just we're just doing the.
So if the power play doesn't work one time, you think it loses a little of the mystique.
But just like with the power play, we don't go back to the first unit every time.
Yeah, we do.
It's struggling. Not every time. Not in that 8-1 game. Right?
When was the last time you saw us in a game that wasn't out of control either way, where the first line wasn't those specific five guys?
There was a game last year at the end of the season where they rolled out the power play 2 when we were up. And now, don't get me wrong. Again, yes, I know, but you don't roll out the number one power play line when you're up that big.
If you're in a war and you don't use a machine gun and you get killed, you should have used a machine gun.
But that's what I mean. Then why are they not just playing them together all the time?
Exactly. Because you don't want to use all your bullets.
Rick, arguing against your like.
Do that. We make sense of this.
My takeaway from it all is the Oilers' top 6 is better than it was last season, and McDavid and Draisaitl have better line mates than they've probably ever had before on the Oilers. Another step of it as well is last season the Vegas Golden Knights beat us because they ran 4 lines on us. The Oilers immediately in game 1, and I get it, you want to try and come back, and maybe they get a goal in one shift, and then it's like 4-2 all of a sudden, and you can start rolling back your lines again. But they need to get used to playing with their line mates, and they had the preseason, and they rolled it in the preseason, which Tyler said they didn't take very seriously, which I would agree with. Why not just keep going in game 1? Like, I just think this team is good enough to come back from deficits when you're rolling all 12 forwards or 11 forwards, I guess. Maybe you take up Ryan.
If you don't put them together at one point when you're down by 3 or 4, don't you feel like you're just giving up at that point?
But
you have another option. You have a nuclear option out there that can work, and you don't have to keep them. When you put them out there the first time, you don't have to keep it together. Your whole goal is to spark this offense, get a goal, get everybody going, let's start moving, and then get back to where you want to go. And then that one didn't work, so you got to do it again and try it again and try it again. And okay, well, at this rate, we might as well just keep doing it.
But Connor Brown, Nugent Hopkins, and Evander Kane play together more than they play with their original centerman. Like, that shouldn't happen. I don't know. I just think the whole team was shit anyways.
Yeah, they were definitely shit.
Yeah, the reality is they were all shit.
Well, if you have that option, I think he should be doing, and not necessarily the last 40. I think he should be doing it more often. And you plunk them both out there when the other coach isn't ready for it.
The only way for it to be more often is if you played them together from the start.
No, you do it when they're not ready for it. You start up with your top 6 every way you want it with them on separate lines, and then any given point in the first period, throw them both out there. See if you can catch the other team not paying attention.
You would see that Pittsburgh would do that coming off the PK.
Yeah,
the other team's best players are gassed. They're not going to have a shift.
Commercials or something like that. There was another one too. I can't remember.
Yeah, or like after an ice, if a team was hemmed in for the ice, you throw them out there, basically throw your power play unit on the ice. Yeah. I wouldn't hate that either. The thing I don't like is as soon as they're down by 3 goals, he aborts any sort of game plan they had coming into the game, and it's Connor and Leon the whole game together. If you want to mix them in a shift or two, I'm fine with that. I think down by 1 in the final 10 minutes of a game, have at her. Down by 2 heading into the third. Sure, if you want to, because over the course of 20 minutes, you want to be all offense, have at her. I just don't like the whole second period starts, they're losing. First game of the year, you abort the lines you'd been grinding through preseason with, and you go right back to what you always do.
It's worked.
I guess I just don't have a problem with it as much as you do.
Yeah.
I'd rather they keep them separate.
Me too.
But if you're losing and you're like, all right, let's see if they can make some magic. I guess I don't have a problem.
Because I don't think that he said, all right, you two now on the same line for the rest of the game. Because you put him out there for one shift for an obvious spark or whatever, and it didn't work, and you just did try it again, and eventually, even going into, I don't know what the score was going into the third period, but I mean, we were down 3-0 to those guys at the beginning of last year and came back and beat them.
I just
it can be done, and we know we can do it.
If our top 6 is as good as we all say it is, the second line should be able to be fine with those two playing together.
I think you just need my takeaway is there needs to be trust within the players.
100%.
And we've spoke about it the whole time with Campbell, how like the Oilers need to show trust in Campbell, and they did it in game one. Obviously got pulled. But they need to do the same thing with these forward groups as well. I just pulled up then. McLeod, Holloway, and Fogo played the most together as a line. 5 and 5.
Leon
but because the fourth line's not going to play very much. In the first two, we already saw what they did.
Well, the rest of them are just absolute jumbles. The next one is Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, then it's Hyman, Draisaitl, Nudes, then it's Nudes, Draisaitl, Brown, and then it's Kane, McDavid, Brown, who played 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
No, you're the opposite. You're the coach on the opposite team. How do you rate up your defense for that?
However I want. Don't they get the first change?
Yeah, but how do you defend that you don't know what lines are going to roll?
That's actually another interesting point to all this. And Quads talk to us about that on Owen every day. But it's when you don't have the first change either, like the other team's coach is going to go, oh, Connor and Leon are going over the boards. Little tap to his best two defensemen, out they go. I think, again, it's almost more justified if you want to do it at home when you have last change. And again, pick your spots on a shift by shift basis. But I didn't like the move. Or
you just look at the second line and go, okay, if they're going to put out their best defense against us, because those who are out there, you guys now have to go out there and eat. But they're taking away all they're taking away all your best competition. Go out there and eat now. Go out there and do something.
But the Oilers don't have drivers in their top six outside of McDavid and Draisaitl. So they have very, very, very good complementary players, like high-end complementary pieces. But they don't have drivers, which is, again, part of my problem in constantly pulling McDavid and Draisaitl the same line is you can't trust Nuge, Hyman, or Nuge, Brown, and Kane to drive offense. They won't.
Yeah, and that's
you better be able to trust them to drive offense because they're getting paid almost $20 million.
Look what happened in the playoffs last year.
Well,
the entire top six disappeared outside of 97 and 29.
Yes, and I've said this from day one. That's exactly why we lost to Vegas, because they could not produce. I know everybody wants to this, that, the other, but that is the primary reason why we got knocked out, because those guys could not produce.
Yep.
Want to thank everybody really quickly that came out to Greta on Wednesday.
That was fun.
Despite the results, the vibes were very, very high in the bar going into the game. I thought Tyler and Aaron did a really good job of hosting the night. The pre-gaming with Boardsy was a lot of fun to watch you guys do your thing in the bar. Oilers Nation After Dark, you guys did a great job. So I just want to say thanks to everybody that came and helped us raise some money for Kidsport. Greta is going to be our home for all of our events over the coming season. You're just looking for something to do.
Liam was
down and go play some vids.
Liam was grinding Mario Kart just by himself.
Somebody's got it.
So next time we're there, challenge me.
There you go. Next time we're at an event at Greta, challenge Liam to some Mario Kart.
Maybe he did get challenged. He just ignored whoever's challenging him.
Yeah, he just muted them.
Them.
Well, when you have your helmet on, it's hard to hear.
I also recommend you challenge Christopher Chalmers to play some hoops. He was very confident in his hoop game, and he was bad. Real bad. I had a good laugh about it.
I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was awful. Anyway, go check us out at Greta for the next events. We'll have more coming soon. Let's move on from the loss. Leon Draisaitl today after practice says, you know what? Sometimes it's good to get smacked around a little bit.
Is it?
That's the only answer you can come up with. That's the only thing they can say.
Yeah, for sure. There was that thing that Gregor said on the rundown. Tyler, you might be able to specify a little bit more, but it was like, the Oilers have played almost 4,000 games and they've only allowed 7 goals or more in 15 of them or something.
Yeah, in their history.
Which is wild. I'm very disappointed one of them came.
Can you name another one?
What's that?
Calgary 2000, when they lost like 9-5 or something like that.
The Oilers in their 4,000 plus game history have only allowed 7 or more goals 15 times.
I remember Chicago getting 10 at Rexall.
I remember Buffalo almost getting 10.
Did they get 10 or they almost get 10?
I feel like they did.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, though.
I remember we won 10 chance in a game against the Sabres.
It's not great.
I hate when I never understand.
You guys went down to Calgary. Derek, wasn't it?
Dude, the playoff game was.
Oh, yeah.
We played
5 or something.
A lot of our
9-6, I think, was the game 1 of the playoffs.
Maybe that's the one.
Because right at the end of the season was another ridiculous score.
There was one that we went down in like a January or November or December where the Flames beat us. I think Draisaitl got a hat trick, but we lost 7-4 maybe.
No, it was March. Because it was
do not bring up that game.
Why?
Because if it's the one I think about, and we're talking March-ish, and Dry's hat trick, it wasn't a hat trick. He almost scored a hat trick. If he got a hat trick, it would have been 51 goals. He would have shared the fucking thing.
No, we're not talking about that.
That's when Dan almost got in a fight. Hooligans.
Yeah, there's hooligans in the stands.
Okay, I don't think this Gregor stats right at all.
No?
So I was just looking it up on NHL.com.
He's just making it, buddy. It's true.
They've allowed
Source.
8+ goals in a game 56 times.
Yeah, there might have been more specification.
What was the original statistic?
15.
Yeah,
No. Okay, so I know what the stat is. So they've allowed it 56 times. They've been beaten by 7 or more. I think was 50.
Beaten by.
That was it. That makes
That's fair.
sense.
yeah, because a lot of these are like 8-6 losses, 9-8 wins and shit. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the correct stat.
Like, yeah.
Um,
And the last time we gave up 4, we allowed a player to get 4 goals was also against Vancouver.
Was it?
Yeah, that was like, and I must have been his show that was talking about it. It was 0-2 in Naslin, I think it was. He said.
I can do since the decade of darkness. So since the 06 Cup run, it's happened 10 times.
Not bad.
They gave up 10 to Buffalo, 9 to Chicago, 9 to
Chicago.
Yeah.
9 to Calgary in March 26, 2022.
Yeah, that was the one I mean.
2014, they gave up 8 to Calgary, 8 to Detroit in February of 09.
Shout out.
November of 2010, they gave up 8 to the Rangers.
It's got to be. Is there a San Jose in here? There's got to be a San Jose in here,
There was a 7 against San Jose.
What about an Anaheim? Like,
bro.
I
The
feel like
7 was 6-0 after the end of the first period. That was in Rexall. I know. Yeah, I remember
the
too much of
Aikens
that.
era, like when the Oilers would go on the California run, just getting shit stopped every single.
Dude, you're going through Kopitar, you're going through Getzlaff, you're going through Perry, and who's our leading guy? Nuge.
Yeah, he was
14-year-old Nuge going up against these
monsters.
fathers. Yeah.
Oilers were down 3-1 after the first in that game to San Jose. Evander Kane opened the scoring for the Sharks.
Shout out.
Who's that guy?
I don't know.
New friend,
Shout out to him. Yeah.
former friend of me.
I read on Twitter there that he was spent at least an extra half an hour signing autographs last night.
Good for Evander Kane.
Speaking of
After the
autograph
cutoff.
sessions, like if I have to talk about it on Oilers Nation Radio. If you haven't seen the content that was made of
That was
getting
good.
Derek Ryan to sign his jersey last night at West Edmonton Mall, please go to the Oilers Nation Instagram and check it out. Absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
He chronicled his whole night from about 6 p.m. to whenever Derek Ryan inevitably signed it at like past the deadline.
8:03 or something. No, I did see that a lot of guys were talking about the autograph night and how it was. They're kind of laughing at when it was. I was just curious as to what their other option was, right? Because this is something that's scheduled well in advance.
Yeah. I mean,
So you're like, hey, like 2 days after game 1, whatever the
1 day.
Yeah, 1 day after game 1, get the autographs out of the way.
Yeah.
Move on. Like
I made the point though yesterday, like they had 4 days off between the last preseason game and the first.
They should have done it last Saturday.
Busy day at the mall, though.
do you
Yeah.
Maybe
Crocs had a sale.
Maybe they
you don't have your real team though, right? Like you've got guys that would have been out there
they know.
That's even better though. Like to me, you should do it during training camp when you can just have a smattering of all kinds of players.
Yeah, Ben Gleason would have been thrilled.
Exactly. Put him next to Connor. Everybody would come see Ben.
Fuck that.
Gleason
He's
might
so-
have actually had the biggest line.
Could you imagine Gleason with Connor?
I feel like these kids deserve that too, and why not? Like it's less impactful on the season that way.
It's not impactful on the season, period.
It's impactful on the season from a jersey.
How?
Except I say what was that, 2 years ago when it was flu season in
Yes.
Edmonton and they had the fucking autograph signing and all the players got sick after.
That would be
Well,
that's my
it was the
only
one
issue.
right after COVID. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was- and then
right
everyone's
before
kind of
COVID,
worried,
too.
and
Yeah, that's the one that bothered me. That one.
that's fine. I mean, at
I
that
met
point,
Nuge
you
while
just-
COVID was in the air. I shook his hand while COVID was
dude, I high fived about 1,500 people a month before everything shut down.
Yeah, I was in that line too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I chased around the
Also-
marching band, yelling at them.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
did.
I'm sure the players weren't thrilled about having to do it the day after a bad loss, but also they are professional athletes.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't know-
I'm sure they were bothered by the way they played, but I don't think they were like,
But the autograph seekers aren't the ones that are going to be like, hey, you guys lost last night, blah, 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 blah. The autograph seekers are always like, they literally could go to them after maybe one loss and go, you know what, I'll make you feel better about yourself because I just want your autograph.
I would love to know. So that obviously thousands of people showed up to WEM yesterday for this autographs. I'm going to guess there's like a small handful. Hey, we 8-1 lost last night, hey?
I don't think anybody would.
no.
I bet there's a handful.
I just
In the
bet you-
lineup, probably, but I almost guarantee you nobody
I
has
think there's
the
a bunch of
courage
just a
to do it at the
small
table.
handful of hardos that
Who yelled at McDavid coming out of Moxie's?
Oh, but
It
that
was
that guy
Joey.
did.
That guy might line
It
up
was
again.
Joey. First of all, you think
Whatever.
Connor's going to Moxie's?
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
They
Is
make
that
a
what
good
we were
shirt.
focusing on in that story?
That's like what Rick pointed out there. Poor Moxie's taking some shrapnel on the podcast.
There was probably a lot of like tough one last night, and the players are going to be like, yeah.
But I think even those,
that's what I mean. Like a small percentage.
but even those guys, they get over it much quicker than I do. Guaranteed you. Like I spoke to a couple of them after whatever game it was when we got when we were knocked out of the playoffs, and I promise you, I was more blue than they were.
Fair.
Yeah, probably.
What did you guys think of Vinny's fight?
I think you'd have to ask like perhaps a wrestling
That was more
judge.
of a wrestle.
Yeah, there was
I don't know if how the takedowns were. And I don't know how you mark
How
the
to perform in
takedowns,
hockey
but
fights.
not great. I was just actually I should bring that up, shouldn't I? It was a lot of close contact there. Like that's why Vinny's forehead got ripped open.
it's probably his visor and the
That's-
helmet.
I think he was rubbing
Yeah.
the visor of the other guy.
He's got to start doing what Chara did back in the day. If you remember, there's the one fight with Chara and
Just swings them around.
yeah, right hand Wade Belak. He's got him, and Belak's a big boy,
Mm-hmm.
and he had him with the left, and he looked like he was on like just going around in circles.
Chara, if he was going to lose a fight, would just throw you. That's just the way he did it. He used his strength. And Vinny can do the same thing. It got a 3.49 out of 10 on hockey.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great
more of a
fight.
wrestle.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of takedown action there at the end. But
Probably get a judo judge involved in this. And,
Yeah, probably.
I was surprised to see it.
Sweep the leg.
yeah.
Size
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, I liked seeing it because at the time, without any hindsight of the rest of the game, I liked it.
Yeah, I like to see a scrap to start the game. I always do.
Yeah, I can't
Love
believe how much the game tilted after that moment.
Yeah, but
It was not his fault.
But
I'm not
and it
blaming
had
Vinny.
nothing to do with the fight itself. The
like,
team
oh,
just didn't
oh.
do anything. They didn't do anything. They were just they were a better
Because
team
like the
that
Oilers
night.
outshot them 5-1 to that point. You're like,
Yeah, they-
fucking here we go.
Dominating.
But it was not.
It was not the fight.
No,
But it's just
for
funny
either
that
way,
it's at that
though.
point
It's
onwards.
funny that was like almost a visual marker
Yeah, it's
of
like,
when things
whoa.
changed.
And I guarantee you, there's a chunk of people that go, "See, I didn't do anything
Yeah.
with the team, but it got their team going, and this is why you lost because you got in the fight."
No, it's
Absolutely
just
nothing to do with it. They were just a better
coincidental
team.
marker. Looking at a little bit of news today for the Edmonton Oilers. Marcus Niemelainen on waivers today. So he's obviously healthy enough to go down to Bakersfield. Probably clear, I would imagine. We'll see.
Yeah, I think better players than him have cleared.
I'm curious around that rule. Does anybody know what the rule is? How healthy does he have to be?
I think healthy enough to play is like the
Yeah.
rule.
Okay, interesting. No, just curious because he got held out at the start of the year.
Yeah, I think it's just healthy enough to play.
Because he was skating too. It's not
by
like
himself.
I think
That's what I'm
tried.
thinking. He can't be wheeled to the air.
He's in the full bubble suit.
Yeah, there you go.
Now the question is, what happens next? Mark Spector reporting that it looks like Adam Erne will be signing a deal as early as tomorrow once the waiver wire goes through, whether Niemelainen gets claimed or clears. Thoughts on Adam Erne?
I mean, he's just another fourth line guy.
he's a dude.
I just don't get it because he's a lefty. If he was a right-handed guy, it would make way more sense to me.
I think they
Yeah.
like the jam he brings. I'm not like sitting here thinking Klim Kostin 2.0. I don't think he has that kind of upside. I personally probably would have preferred that they just give the spot back to Lane Peterson or Ralph Lavoie, but there's something in Erne they seem to like. So we shall see if they're correct in this analysis.
To be fair to Adam Erne,
Played a lot of games.
played 355 NHL games. He does have a little bit of touch. 61 games played with the Red Wings last year. He had 8 goals and 10 assists for 18 points. If you got a guy that's going to chip in 18 points on the fourth line, you're not going to be upset about it.
Yeah,
That's kind of what we were expecting out of Peterson, though. No? If he was going to, let's just say he got the fourth line position, we would have said right around Derek Ryan points from last year is kind of what you expect. No?
I think that's the headline in all of this, if there even is one in this minor move. But Lane Peterson was signed to a 2-year deal, was not good enough through preseason that they started playing Mattias Janmark at center and then sent him down and signed somebody else in his place.
I think he probably wanted you would have penciled Janmark on the roster and then just like dabbled with the fact if he can play center or not.
Yeah, I think so. But they did it in like 4 games into preseason. Like Pedersen had already played 3 at that point, and they were like, you know what, this guy is not what we need. I just think that's an interesting little part of this.
It is.
He's good eventually.
But I also don't think it's horrible having him in Bakersfield either. You know,
neither.
Condors need to play and they need to perform.
And he's young. He's only like 25, 26.
26.
Isn't he? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is a terrible signing by any means. It's pretty irrelevant, to be honest. But he's just like, this guy really didn't do much to earn a spot.
Spent the bulk of his career to this point in the AHL. Looks like he is in Bakersfield. So there you start.
Yeah,
I don't mind having good players, AHL players down there helping the kids out. I think it's important to build a winning culture from the bottom up.
Yeah,
maybe he helps with that. I don't know. We'll see.
Just NHL ready depth.
Yeah, which is what they need.
Yep.
Yeah, they need more depth.
It'll be fine.
Anyway,
when are we going to see Drake Kajula?
I don't know why you need more depth. No, we can't afford it early. So what's the point now? We can't afford it.
That's very true.
Intrigued to see what Adam Erne can do. Like if he adds some more grit into the bottom six. I love rough and tumble hockey. I like guys who can hit. I like guys who can go light you up.
And you know what? If we sit here and we rip them for their lack of jam, lack of compete, all that stuff in game one, sure, bring a guy who's a bowling ball like Erne, who's going to go for, pardon my French here, he'll go fuck shit up.
Like, and listen, let's not pretend that this city doesn't love a guy like this that'll go out and fuck shit up.
We all fell in love with Klim Kostin. He played like 60 games.
Yeah.
Why did you point to this?
RIP to a real one.
He's staying in the breakfast upstairs.
Detroit's north, right? No.
Other news. Important news. Looks like Mattias Ekholm is expected to play tomorrow.
He's leading stretches today.
At practice.
Although I'm pretty sure he led stretches before the last preseason game, and we were like, he's back. Then he didn't play. But
whoopsies. I'm just happy to have him back.
They cheered for him this time when he was doing it, though.
He is the Oilers' best defenseman, in my opinion. Not having him in the lineup hurts. Would they have lost 8-1? I mean, they probably would have lost even with him in, but maybe it would have been 5-1. Maybe.
There's too noticeable of a difference. And we saw it last season was the biggest sample size, obviously, when he wasn't on the team and the sky was falling because our defense was not even close to good enough. And then he came in and played 20 games, whatever he did. And it was like the entire blue line was brand new.
Yeah, but and I'm not taking anything away from him, but you're placing a guy in a spot where he fits and everyone else shifts down a bit, right?
Exactly.
And now, right now, we lost an actual NHL defenseman. So, therefore, everyone's taking a step up right now, whether or not that's a good thing or not. It is what it is. You got to put him there. It'll filter back again. That just means we're playing at the
What do you think Woody's pairings look like tomorrow? Do you put Ekholm with Bouchard?
Yes.
Or do you try and use Bouchard pairing again?
Let's try not to get cute anymore here. Let's just get a win under our belts and go with what works.
They were practicing together today.
Oh, yeah.
Was CC good or bad on one? I know everyone was kind of bad, but all I've seen of him.
The brightness off your outfit too bright? You couldn't see very well.
For CC?
He was too busy.
Yeah, it is too bright.
He was busy playing Mario Kart. By the time it was 5-1, he was Mario Kart.
My head was in my hands most of the game, right? But the only thing I've seen of him is just getting absolutely annihilated.
Elias Pettersson.
Oh,
yeah.
The dude was obviously okay. Now I take nothing away from Pettersson. Good job to finish your hit, but his weight was obviously all on his heels. It was not that big of a hit.
Yeah, but I do think
any one of us in this room could have knocked him over the exact same way.
I could not.
You could have. I promise you.
I don't know if I could generate the speed to get close to him.
Just a good hit.
Well, if you just go in the hockey position, I'll chest pass you from the back, and I promise you'll knock him over the same way.
That slow-mo video was sick. It looked like he got blasted back into another dimension.
I do kind of wish it was like Ryan Reeves.
Good on him.
No, not Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
Just someone who I've seen throw on a hit before.
Well, I hope it gives Elias Pettersson a confidence to try it again when he invariably bursts into dust because he's like 130 pounds.
Yeah, like good on him to make the hit. I mean, that's always been the one thing that I've looked at him where I'm like, I'm not so sure how high he can fly in this league because I don't know if he has that exactly. And I feel like if you really want to, you can just like pick him up like a child and take him off the puck. But so if he incorporates the physical game, that's going to take it another step. So it was great on him to make the hit. But like I said, it was all his weight was on his heels. Like you turn the fan on and he was going to fall over at that point.
The other thing I want to mention is that the Edmonton Oilers announced yesterday that they hired former NWHL Commissioner Dani Rylan Kearney as a pro scout. Jeff Jackson continuing to make some adjustments in the management side. There you go.
I like it. It shows that Jeff Jackson's not just going to go grab a bunch of retread hire people. Like
he's not going to the well. Like we see that a lot in Edmonton. This isn't hiring, I don't know,
Peter Chiarelli's brother.
Pick ex-Oiler from whatever era, Yeah,
it's nice. It's progressive. It's very, very good.
Every team does it.
She seems very qualified for the job.
Oilers has been slow on it.
No, I mean bringing back old players and stuff. I mean, Alfredson just went back to the Senators. Everybody does it.
Yeah,
but it's a nice breath
hire
of
your
fresh air.
friends. What everybody does.
Look at this company.
I mean,
why do you think I'm here?
Kind of happens regularly. Why am I here? It's because I
like to think we became friends because we were hired.
Probably that's true.
Definitely.
All right. Well, now seems like a good time to step aside for an ad.
I mean, you two were friends before you worked here.
Yeah, that's fair. We met at Nate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Waz and Brett have known each other since they were in like kindergarten.
Yeah, we learned that yesterday.
Yeah. Well, but also they've both been here for like a year, and we just learned that.
That doesn't really surprise me when I heard that, though.
No.
What was that? What did you say?
Waz and Brett?
Yeah.
I said they've been here for like a year, and
this is Waz's third year with us.
This is Waz's third year working for us.
So the very first day he was like visible as an employee was a golf tournament because everybody was at the bar. They started off at the bar before the bus out, and I think he introduced himself to Jay or something like that. And Jay's like, "Oh, this is the first time I've actually seen you."
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
but that was the weird golf tournament when none of us had seen each other for like months and months and months.
Yep.
Holy shit, Waz has been in my life for 3 years.
Flies.
A blessing.
Just flies by when you're having fun, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I also keep forgetting that people can watch the full hour-long video version of this podcast.
Yeah, I just saw your facial expression.
I know, and I've been like picking stuff. I've been like picking stuff out of my teeth and shit the whole show. I got to remember on camera.
Spent a little too much time with the radio class, not the TV class.
Yep. Away she goes, gentlemen. It is time for Ask the Idiots. For our friends at Alberta Blue Cross, there's only one thing better than making memories, and that's making some new ones. We are hoping that make some new memories with the Oilers tomorrow because my first memory this season, no bueno.
Oh boy.
Are you going tomorrow?
As of right now, I don't think so.
Are you going?
I'm going.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. By the truck?
By the truck.
Yeah.
My plan.
But now everyone else will know where we're going.
My plan is to watch from home, but we'll see. Sometimes tickets fall out of the sky.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel. Alberta Blue Cross is the official nation provider of insurance on all of our nation vacations. We are less than a month away from going to the Seattle Nation vacation. I'm very, very excited. Tyler continues to rub his eyes, even though he's on camera.
Sorry. I also keep yawning. It's an all-time performance here. But also, I was going to say we are... fuck me.
You did that one to yourself. That was all.
This is
We're like, I think, a week away from launching the nation vacation to Arizona.
Now the goal is to see how many visual ticks you have on the full video version of the podcast.
Oh, it's so bad.
Just do an ISO cam of Tyler. Please.
The good thing is I think this might actually drive people to go watch the video because they want to see what we're talking about.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, by the way. If we get to 30,000 subs by the trade deadline, I am doing a boudoir shoot of Tyler. It is going to be very tasteful, but it will be sexy.
Yeah.
Are you doing it or are you having it done?
Well, I'm going to be staging the whole thing, start to finish.
But also, if people didn't see enough of what they needed to see from me in that Barbie costume, I don't know. It was revealing.
You're smuggling budgies.
BM's got the camera skills already. If you do remember correctly, Vegas, was it? I think it was Vegas when he had the interesting pictures of Liam changing.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he just like in the mirror?
Yeah. Honestly, it is so artistic. It's so artistic.
Because I walked into the room to take a picture of what looked like an OnlyFans set in Liam's room. But Liam was just changing for the night out. But Rick took a picture off the reflection of the window. So it looks like I'm perving on Liam while he's changing his shirt.
Oh, it's probably one of my favorite photos of all time.
Arguably one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen.
That's really funny.
It's so outrageous.
I was looking pretty dapper.
For our friends at Alberta Blue Cross, it's Ask the Idiots time. Dan, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yes.
How do you calm down? How do you calm yourself down after a devastating loss? That's from Adrian.
I actually, it's funny. I did it after the 8-1 loss. I go on NHL, whatever version I have at that time, and I pump the shit out of the team that we just got lost. We just lost to. So that's what I did
some
last
bits?
year. I do. Yeah. I played some hockey and I beat the crap out of the Canucks for us.
All right. Liam, how do you recover after a devastating loss?
I just go on the podcast and vent to people for an hour every day, and it usually is good therapy for me. Honestly, that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah, I don't really have like a recovery thing. I would love to be like, oh, I have a few more drinks. But when they win, I also like celebrating with a few more drinks. So I don't really have anything. I usually just stew in my misery until I fall asleep.
Rick?
I stew until I'm allowed to yell it out on a microphone.
I pace.
Yeah, you do. You move around quite a bit.
When the Oilers are losing, I get up, I move around, I change spots. Maybe if I watch this TV, they'll win. If I watch that TV, nope, not that one. Maybe if I try this one, I just pace around. I'm annoyed. Takes me a minute. On Wednesday night, I went home, a couple of drinks in my kitchen, at a solo dance party. That's what I did.
You got to do what you got to do.
Listen, you had to get it out.
One of the first things that I started at the Nation, I got to go to a local radio station here that has a demographic that is skews more towards females. And they told me that they can tell when the Oilers have lost a few games in a row because the calls that they get are slightly more depressed and more like upset sounding. So yeah, Edmonton is a different breed of fan too.
Reversing the order. This one's from Ali. Rick, who are you starting on Saturday night? And does Wednesday night's performance affect the plan? We're talking about goaltending here.
No, I was always going 1-1, so it's Stu.
Tyler?
Same as Rick. I was always going 1-1. It's Stu's net.
Tyler? Or Liam?
Stu.
Nation Dan?
Chet Pickard. No, I think the plan was always
Calvin's cousin, of course.
Calvin. Yes. I'm still hoping that we sign Chet just so that I don't sound like a total idiot.
You just go to Stu.
Yeah, it's simple enough.
If one game ruins Woody's plan here, that's a completely different conversation to have.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overreact after one game. That is the way it goes. Ask the ideas for our friends at Alberta Blue Cross. Last question, Tyler. I'm jumping right in the middle. The NHL needs to introduce a new spin on the shootout. If your team has a penalty when OT expires, the other team gets to choose your shooters. Do you like it or no?
Oh man, that'd be so funny. Can you imagine the Oilers had a penalty, they get through OT, and the other team's coach is just like Desharnais, Derek Ryan, and maybe like Ekholm, maybe Broberg. Oh, Cody Ceci, yeah. Ceci, Desharnais, Derek Ryan, because we'll say you like have to have one forward.
Liam, do you like the adjustment?
Or they pick Fogle.
What was it? Sorry, just that's the adjustment. If
That's the adjustment. Yeah.
Isn't there? Rick is showing the picture.
I want to see it again. That was a great night.
Isn't there already a penalty for that? Like if the guy's in the penalty box,
If they're in the penalty box, they can't shoot.
No, that player, I don't think that player is not allowed to shoot.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
No, I do not like that rule.
I don't like the idea of letting other teams tamper with your roster. I think that's funny. It's a dangerous slippery slope. Let's just do 3-on-3.
Here's my adjustment to the shootout. Let's get rid of the fucking shootout. Extend the OT. I want to see deeper in the lineup getting out there when it's on 3-on-3.
Just understand if you do extend it, you're bringing out like a bigger surface of fewer players. It sounds like a great idea, but look at soccer.
No, it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious because your fifth and sixth defensemen out against the top line guys, you're going to have 3-on-1s.
Yeah, but you can also get the 56 against the 56. And then it's about trying to control the puck, and these guys can't pass as well. And it's just look at soccer. Look at soccer. There's a lot more around and doing nothing.
But
so
see, that
just be
should be
careful.
the incentive for every team is to have guys that could be serviceable in a 3-on-3 game. And that, like,
no, because we did that. No, we did this with a shootout with penalty shooters. We started bringing guys into the fourth line just because they were good at taking penalty shots.
But that's what you have when you have penalty shots.
How dare you say Jokinen was a fourth liner?
You take that back if you're going to talk about Rob Shrimp in that way.
I hate the shootout.
I've had enough of it too.
I've heard more of it from the broadcast teams this year, just in the first 3 days of the season, than I have ever. So I think it's coming.
Yeah, like I'm all for it, but I'm just saying, like, it's not going to be all 10 bell chances and all that stuff. No, there's going to be some. There's going to be some boring times where you're not trying to win. You're trying not to lose with those guys on the ice. So just be careful with this.
And I'm fine with that because there's also going to be times when all of a sudden Woody slips Leon and Connor out against the other team's depth players, and they go, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, but Anaheim did it to us once where they won the face-off and they just passed the puck around their net the whole damn time for about 45 seconds. We changed. They came down and scored right away too. So
I would rather that than the shootout, even in a loss.
Yeah, that forces.
I'm definitely in terms of extending OT as opposed to having the shootout, but there will be times where we're like
10 minutes of overtime and then a hockey fight solves it. Let's go.
Nothing kills my Oilers boner quite like a shootout.
I don't think it actually does.
It does.
There's not a chance in hell because once you get like they clean the ice, sure, whatever. Once the first guy lines up, you are jacked and right in front of the television again because I'm doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, but then 50% of the
we
time
would prefer it to be overtime.
I love watching McDavid in a shootout.
However, it's terrifying. You don't blink. Your heart doesn't. It's terrible. It's not great for the health. But hey,
yeah, I'm with you, Rick. I hate it when we lose in the shootout. That's why I hate the shootout.
I just don't like
barely losing it.
I'm over it.
I'm over him too, by the way.
This goes back to the Olympics. Damn it.
Oh, don't even start me on 98.
You youngsters don't even
Stupid Mark Crawford.
We got Kennedy's quotes game coming in, but she's locked out.
Oh, yeah, we got to let Kennedy in.
Yeah, we got to let Kennedy in for Kennedy's quotes game. Otherwise, it doesn't work nearly.
Oilers.
Oh, here we go. Hold on.
Breaking news.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Oilers have signed forward Adam Erne to a 1-year, 2-way contract with an AAV of $775,000. For more, we go live to Oilers Nation reporter Matt Wozniak outside Rogers Place.
He's a hot guy.
Thanks, Woz.
We got Kennedy coming in for the quote game. Of course, you know how this works. Kennedy has gone back through the archives. She's listened to us say very, very intelligent things. And she's put them all in a list for us to guess which of these 5 morons gave you these nuggets of wisdom.
You know the drill. Get out your notepads, get out your pens and paper. 6 quotes. Not throwing a curveball here. 2 of the same person. We're gonna make sure that this works.
So if the bandit isn't okay.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
We're good.
Me.
Alrighty. Number 1. It's a horse.
Oh, come on.
Whose horse is that?
Whose horse is that?
I was hoping you say that.
That's the whole quote.
It's a horse.
Okay.
Put some respect on my name.
Okay. Number 2. I never thought I could face my fear of chickens. Now look at me.
Oh.
I make sound.
I did that with 1,000%, and I'm excited about
Yeah, I remember that.
We all lived that week.
Okay, number 3, running yield signs and figuring out waffles.
Running yield signs and figuring out waffles?
Yes.
I'm going over.
Woz. I'm guessing Woz said that one.
It was Wanye. Number 4, excuse me, friends, pardon me here. Do you know where the Mayo is?
This one is impossible.
Okay.
What the hell?
Next quote is going to be the.
I'm just going to start doing words.
Yes.
Number 5, so you're saying fire Jay Woodcroft?
Okay, got that one as well. 5 for 5.
Okay, number 6, I think us having fish in the office would make great content.
Oh, that was, I know when that was.
I am not confident with any of them except the chicken one. 0.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one I said.
I don't know which
Mine
one I
usually
say.
stands out.
Normally, I can figure out the ones that I say because I have very consistent mannerisms or speech patterns, but this one,
Or it's something ridiculous.
yeah, or something like I shit myself.
3 weeks ago. This is going to be my worst score ever, I think.
Okay.
I went over a couple times, so.
Yep.
Are we all done? Does everybody feel good?
Pencils down.
I feel terrible.
Okay.
Kennedy, are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay.
Let's do it.
Got this now. Okay. So number 1, it's a horse. Who'd everybody get?
I guess Tyler.
Tyler.
I said BM.
I had to go with me because the reverse, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I had me, but then I had to flip to Rick because I couldn't figure out what his could be.
It's a Tyler.
The bandit isn't okay. I got an emergency number. I got to call.
Oh, so you're not expected to tend to the wound.
No, I did not.
It's only it's only a bandage, man. How hard can it be?
I don't know.
horse.
It's a
Yeah, but
horse.
no, if you're calm, the horse will be calm. You just stay there and relax. You know, you kind of take.
I had it and I flipped off it. Shit.
I did have you too, then because I had to. But.
It's a horse.
Okay, number 2, I never thought I could face my fear of chickens. Now look at me.
Lock of the year.
1,000% Liam Horbin, Farmer Liam specifically.
Yeah, that was me.
It was Liam.
That was Liam.
For the record, I've never been.
Could you milk a cow if you needed to? No way. You'd get kicked in the head.
How do you know? I never thought I could face my fear of chickens. Now look at me.
Could you milk a cow? Also would have been a great line for the quote game.
There's a lot of good ones from that one bit. Being a
It
farmer.
wasn't a bit. That was life. And you have fun. The paycheck.
Okay, number 3, running yield signs and figuring out waffles.
Stab in the dark. I picked Dan.
I picked Dan as well.
I picked bag milk.
I did BM.
That's okay.
I have Dan. Yeah, I don't know why, but
Waffles. It's because of the waffles. You were excited to get that question out there.
I was actually like thinking, I was like,
Yeah.
call Belgians. Yep, that makes sense. Boy, banner starting
Running,
to spot.
running yield signs and figuring out waffles.
Yes.
There you go. Wow.
Yes,
You guys do know your co-host.
man.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't know myself there.
Alrighty, number 4. Excuse me, friends. Pardon me here. Do you know where the Mayo is?
I picked Liam. It's just a weird
said-
thing to say.
I just said Rick.
I said Dan.
I said BM.
I have me.
Whew, that's a lot of names. We're all over the place.
Rick.
Put in there.
I actually don't think we can.
I'm pretty sure. And if you want to go downstairs, just go in the kitchen, make yourself a snack. Like, why not?
Yeah,
Home
just-
sweet home.
Excuse me, friends. Pardon me here. Do you know where
Yeah.
the mayo is?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make.
Damn.
Well, I'm not liking the
This is
outlook
my
on question
best
number
score
5.
of all time, and I'm 3 of 4.
I like because I don't think you've ever gotten your own quote.
No, yeah, that's true. Yep. I'm very
He's
bad
like, I
at
didn't say
being
that.
myself.
Who said it? That was Danny.
Learn something new every day about myself.
Okay, number 5. So you're saying fire Jay Woodcroft.
I had Rick, but now I'm obviously wrong.
I guessed myself.
I said Tyler.
It sounds like something I'd say.
I have Tyler. He's an
Sorry, I'm getting.
I know.
I'm trying to. What did you say? Sorry.
We had a youthful coach a couple years ago, and that didn't work out.
That's
so well.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So the youth movement.
So
isn't
you're saying fire
necessarily
Jay
wrong.
Woodcroft.
I just I
Damn.
swapped BM for myself, and I got it wrong.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Okay, last one, number 6. I think us having fish in the office would make great content.
I thought that was me.
I thought
guess.
BM too.
I guessed Liam. I doubled down on Liam.
I said Rick, but now I'm thinking it might be me as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have anything to do with the office talk like that. I have BM.
I had no option. Too crazy, just a fish tank.
I thought we were going dark here.
Oh, you're trying to give away your fish tank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did try to pitch it to Jay. It didn't go well.
Oh, he said no?
He said, didn't say no. Didn't say no.
I think us having fish in the office, sorry, Liam, would be great content.
I think so too.
I went 1 for.
Alrighty.
3.
Fitty.
4 for 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
Boy,
rundown.
Dano.
Good rundown.
Thank you.
Go.
Thanks,
Kennedy's
everybody.
Sports Game.
Last time. I'll
How'd
probably
you
go
do?
over next
Hit us up on socials, ON Radio Podcast. I want to know how you did. Twitter and Instagram is Kennedy's Quotes Game.
That's a great bit we have.
It really is.
It just, you know what it is? It's just really punctuates how dumb this podcast is.
The fact that we don't get our own so often it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a little bit of flavor on mine the mine usually pop out just like you, but like different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kennedy's Quotes Game.
Mine's usually a little more blunt.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to our friends at Century Mile Racetrack and Casino. If you are down for something to do, you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, may I recommend going to watch the ponies. Check out the ponies, maybe hit up the buffet.
Ooh, I love a good buffet.
Who doesn't love a good buffet? Good living.
Carving meats out there? You got some cups of roast
Nice
beef?
Roast beef?
Oh, yeah, you know
Oh, come
So
on.
nice.
That's a really nice, really nice evening you're planning for yourself. Century Mile Racetrack and Casino. Go out and bet on the ponies or pop on down to the tables if you're feeling frisky.
You can do both.
You can do both.
Tufa.
You have to walk through one to get to the other.
May as well drop a
It's
couple
true.
bucks.
Maybe just have a couple of spins.
Mhm.
Maybe a Windicate with the boys.
How much time is there between horse races?
15 minutes.
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of time to go downstairs. You get a couple hands of blackjack in. I would not suggest it in the craps table because if
No.
you get on a heater, you got to stick it.
And you never walk away from the table on a heater. We all know this.
Never.
Yeah.
Right.
Time for hot and cold performers, gentlemen. Let's wrap up the podcast. Let's get through it. We're running a little bit late here, so we got to start with our veggies as we always do. For our friends at Century Mile Racetrack and Casino. Nation Dan, you were up first with your cold performer of the week.
My cold performer of the week is going to come from earlier this week. It's going to go to the entire league for announcing that it's banning pride tape from all events. Pretty silly to me. It feels like we keep having the same conversation now since last year when they had the couple players sit out. But for the league to reverse its decision on allowing players to make their own choices and going out of their way to single out one company in pride tape and banning them from anything, it's short-sighted. It's gross. It's just a poor decision by the NHL. So you get my cold performer of the week for banning pride tape.
100%. I'm with Dan as bonus cold performer of the week.
I do believe in that whole spiel, though. They did say, like, they did specify pride tape, but they did say, like, you can't do anything that connects to those jerseys. And they did mention, at least according to like the radio blurb I heard on the way down here, whatever day it was, they did say, hey, listen, it can't be with the military or the kind of, but don't get me wrong. Yes, it's completely wrong. It's all wrong. I do want to say they did encompass everybody, but it still shows you a cowardly act.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Connor do it anyway.
Yeah,
he might
punish him.
There's going to be a bunch.
There's one player that did come out, Scott Lawton, did come out and said that I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to do it. And I dare them to talk to me about it.
The other thing too, like I had people in my mentions after I gave said my piece about it. And they were like, I like that the NHL is staying neutral. Staying neutral would have been, you can do whatever you want and we will not punish you.
Banning is the stupid thing.
It's like the literal opposite of being neutral.
You can literally hit a guy from behind and damn near kill him and not get a penalty because our officials are terrible, but they're banning colorful tape.
My
Stupid.
thing is for hockey.
Cowardly.
They've been pandering to this and using this hashtag hockey is for everyone for a long time.
Hold on. I would like to specify this too, because I need you to specify NHL.
Yep.
And it's not hockey is for everybody.
Nope.
Hockey is not exclusively ridden by the NHL. There's a lot of leagues out there that are okay with everything. So I would like, every time anyone says this, I need you to specify, please, and say the NHL.
But for the league that was transacting on that social capital for a long time to now turn around and reverse it and single out pride tape.
Chicken shit.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
100%. Liam, your cold performer of the week.
My cold performer of the week. The Coyote situation in Sherwood Park is getting a little out of hand.
Oh, I thought you
Too many lakes.
No.
Okay, go on.
A lot of howling at night. A lot of these desert dogs up at the fences. People are getting harmed now in Sherwood Park. Dogs are getting harmed. I have a small dog. Back off.
Sounds like you should have to get a big dog now to protect the small dog.
Or are you going to get with your dog one of those, like, what are those called? Those coyote collars?
Or befriend a coyote.
Fucking gnarly spikes on them.
If a coyote comes in my yard, I will kick it in the head.
There is a park that I always walk my dog in right beside where I live. And every now and then I see a coyote in here. I'm like,
yeah,
fucking
come close.
starving.
I dare you.
Last time I saw a coyote in person, I went and got a golf club and chased it.
Yeah.
I am writing this one down though, because the come close, I dare you, I feel is going to pop up in the Kennedy game here in a couple months. I just want to make sure I know where that came from.
100% for the Coyotes in Sherwood Park.
Oh, that's cold.
Tyler, I'm checking your cold performer of the week.
Playoff baseball. It is absolutely electric. It is just great to see stadiums of people packed and waiting on every pitch. And it's my cold performer of the week
like there's something
because the Blue Jays got eliminated and they've robbed me of having great memories like Phillies fans are getting. I'm jealous.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
Does it like hurt a little bit just to like see Frank at the Phillies games and he's just having the best time ever?
Oh, man. And I'm just like, we should be watching the Jays do cool shit in October. It pisses me off.
You should be able to troll Minnesota fans instead of
it's annoying.
Watching him troll the Mets fans.
Rick, you're up next. Your cold performer of the week.
Just overall overreactions. I've noticed it in game one, and this has nothing to do with what we talked about today because it was already written down, but the Connor Leon combo, the autograph day, like I get it was a bad day, but it was pre-booked and all that. Just overreaction in general.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
That's right, Stephen A. That's right. I'm going to say it again. Dan had it first. The NHL for banning pride tape. Absolutely ridiculous. It's
so
dumb.
stupid.
3 steps back to take 1 step forward, I guess. Whatever. I don't even understand I just don't get it.
Word.
I do think they're going to see a big advantage out of this though, because I think there's a their sales have gone through the roof right now. And then I think you're going to see a lot of players coming out and do something, and the league is going to get forced into changing themselves.
Massive story now, and they do, which will be good, I guess.
Good.
Yeah.
I hope the players do come out and
drag them through the mud. Gutless.
So stupid. Shouldn't you just do what you want?
Yep. It's because everyone's too afraid to listen to somebody bark to it. Dude, put Brian Burke in charge. I want to see that guy run compressors for the league.
Yeah.
And by the way, just speaking of Brian Burke, if you haven't read his release that he put out on Twitter, it's well worth the read.
I bet there was a lot of pressing the delete button on his.
Yeah,
on
his publicist was probably like,
"No, we're taking that word out. Taking that whole damn sentence out."
All right, boys, let's finish it off with some positive news for our friends at. What's happening on my computer here? Everything is freezing on my computer, and it's upsetting me.
It's Ron Burgundy. He has nothing to read. He has nothing to say right now.
Century Mile Racetrack.
For my friends at Century Mile Racetrack.
I'm Ron Burgundy. The Denver Broncos. Let's finish off with some positive news for our friends at Century Mile. Nation Dan, your hot performer of the week.
This one came out of Minnesota actually last night. Ryan Hartman, I think his wife or fiance, posted a photo of it. There's a company in Minnesota that is renting jerseys for fans just outside the arena. So
I saw that. I didn't know if that was real.
Go to the vehicle, pay $20 and the deposit for the cost of the jersey. You get to wear the jersey into the game, and then you come out of the game and you pass them back the jersey. Bing, bang, boom. They're called Tarps Off Jersey Rental. They just showed up on social media after Hockey Fights posted about it. And I think it's a great idea. I think it's a cool idea. Gets jerseys onto people that maybe they can't afford necessarily to buy one of their own, but they want to be a part of the crowd in the game. Or maybe you're traveling to a game and you want to be able to have a jersey, be a part of the crew. So Tarps Off Jersey Rental gets my hot performer of the week.
He's a hot guy.
I wonder how they deal with the mustard stains.
Well,
they pop up from time to time.
There's got to be a cleaning fee of some sort.
Well, I mean, if they have any questions, let me know because I know how to get them out.
That's a good point. I'll tag you on social media.
Thank you.
Yep. If you need mustard stains out of your white Tyler Yamamoto jersey,
specifically,
reach out to Rick.
I know.
I never thought that was coming out of that thing. Also, honorary shout out to Mrs. Towel Boy.
Thank you.
For giving you the know-how on getting that out. Liam, you're up next. Century Mile Racetrack Casino, your hot performer of the week.
My hot performer of the week. I don't know. I've been too worried about these Coyotes, if I have to be honest. Too worried about my Chelsea. I'll say I liked what Paul Maurice said the other day about rookies playing the first game in the NHL. I like Paul Maurice. I like a lot of the things he said. I thought that was like a cool comment.
What did he say?
He basically just said, he's like, you get one of these days.
So the first game is like your first game is like for your family, not for you. Go out there. I want you go out there. I want you to be nervous. I want all this stuff. It's your family gets to like take in all the good. After that is all you, but first one's for them.
Yeah, it's just a cool, like,
to those who supported you on your way to the
moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Pour it on.
All right, Tyler, you're up next. Hot performer of the week.
Beginning of the NHL season, first goal for Leon Draisaitl, the return of the greatest meme that the internet knows. It's Kennedy's trash and the Leon, you hot bitch meme. There is nothing I love more than loading up Twitter after Leon Draisaitl scores and seeing what she created. And the first one of the season even featured Rick, which was funny. The return of the Leon, you hot bitch meme.
I like this right here.
I do like that right here.
Rick, you're up next. Your hot performer of the week.
Well, I got two here. So one, we heard the news yesterday about a certain guy out there in Finland who's getting closer and closer to playing right now. So
Yarvi?
Yes, that's the one.
I didn't know you were talking about.
So I don't know if
Heikanen's coming back.
Yeah, damn straight. I don't know. I think next month might be kind of pushing it a bit from my understanding, but it's coming up. Definitely this season. But two, has to go to Ken Holland and it's not from last week, but it's from what we heard. He chose not to trade 73 for Lafferty.
Oh, yeah.
They asked for Vinny. He turned down the trade. So Ken Holland for keeping Vinny. I know it's going to piss off a lot of people out there, but I like it. I like the player. I like the fact that he's keeping him here.
Woo! Friday, baby. Yeah, let's celebrate Friday. Woo!
My hot performer of the week, I'm going to give it back to my boy Waz. I don't know that he's made a piece of content in a minute that's made me laugh quite as hard as the Derek Ryan thing from last night. But this bit that he's got with Derek Ryan makes me laugh often because if you're just sitting here at Nation HQ, sometimes he's filming a TikTok or whatever, and he just yells out Derek Ryan. Just yells it out. And then so for him to actually get an autograph signed by Derek Ryan last night and making a bunch of content about it, I just thought it was hilarious. So my boy Waz, I know you're listening to this, pal. Clip it and pump your own tires. You're my hot performance week.
Bonus.
I feel like if Brad Malone made the roster consistently, I'd be like that with him too.
Bonus hot performer to our boy Aaron Bordato. Pre-gaming with Boardsy is the Oilers Nation official pre-game show brought to you by Short Ford the Giant. And Aaron knocked his first pre and post game out of the park.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, you broke the TV.
Oh,
I closed my laptop.
The full video version is now showing a staticky TV.
I'm not editing that. There's too much extra work.
Mr. Avoiding the grind over here, trying to close down a little before work's over.
Thankfully, we're shutting it down right now. Thank you all for listening. We're going to wrap up with a score prediction. Tomorrow night, Hockey Night in Canada, Edmonton Oilers, Vancouver Canucks, Rogers Place, Liam Horrobin. Give me a score prediction.
8-1 Oilers.
3-1 Edmonton Oilers.
Tyler?
5-2 Oil.
Rick?
God, I wish they go and get revenge and beat that 8, but I'm going to stick with a 6-2 win.
Just bet on a 4-2 win. You'll thank me later. Go Oilers.
Bagnook saw the script.